going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy welcoming you to another deck profile here on the channel. Today we're profiling my brilliant Fluffal deck that I've been toying around with at locals, seeing if I want to play this at a regional or a larger event like that. There are going to be two different profiles for this deck. This is kind of the budget-friendly deck. It's not going to be as expensive of cards in this one, whereas I'm going to be profiling another one with a lot more expensive cards, depending on if you actually already have those cards or if you can afford them. So let's go ahead and jump into this profile. This deck got a lot more vitality and a lot more life into it just because of Patchwork. That is not the only key card of the entire deck, though. We have to make sure that you know that. Just because you have Patchwork King doesn't mean you're going to win. Let's go ahead and jump into the deck, and I'll kind of talk through things as we go. So first card we're going to talk about today is Fluffal Dog. Now, Fluffal Dog is the best card in the deck. Honestly, it's a card you want to open up with every single time. Fluffal Dog is the Stratos of the deck, the Searcher. Allows you to get either a Fluffal or an Edge Imp Saber, so it's super good card and just allows you to get a lot of your plays going from there. A lot of times, if you don't have anything else going and you can get to a dog right away, gets you going a lot of the time. Next up, we are playing two Fluffal Bear and two Fluffal Wings. A lot of people are playing 3 and 3 or 3 and 2, depending on how much room you have in the deck. I don't want to base this deck around Toy Vendor and Wings. A lot of people like to do that. You know, it's all based off of you have to get to that Toy Vendor, you have to get to that Wings, have to get it engraved, and have to get going with that. Yes, it's an amazing card. Allows you to get your 2 draws and your ad, but a lot of times you end up wasting a lot of time trying to get to this. And that's why we play the Brilliant Fusion Engine, just because you can dump this right away and you don't have to worry about searching it with dog, getting ashed, and then crying. Alrighty, moving on, we have the 2 Fluffal Penguin. Fluffal Penguin, amazing card. If you know how to play this deck correctly, you can get out a lot of effect negations with this card right here, as well as Cat, because you can do Chain Link 1, whatever you're doing, like Sabertooth or your Tiger, or anything else that has an effect. And then Chain Link 2 this penguin, and then they have to strike the penguin. They have to try and negate that instead. So you can get around a lot of things, and you can blow up their field with Tiger. You do need 2. 3's a little much. If you want, you can do a lot of more things with this. I actually ran into a situation last week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere on there, where he had a floodgate on the field, so I could only have fairies, you know. And so it was literally just like normal summon penguin, special summon dog, add from dog, and then just beat down with those 2 and hope they can't do anything. I did end up winning that, but you know, depending on what you have going on, you do want this on the field. And then we are playing 2 1-ofs. We're playing 1 Fluffal Owl and 1 Fluffal Cat. Owl is there because Imperial Order is a thing, Anti-Spell Fragrance is a thing. They can really shut you down, as well as if you know that they have an ash in hand, if they accidentally reveal it or they add it to hand with Firewall, something like that. This can get you around that because you know, you're not adding. You can just activate the effect, pay the 500, and go off from there and be able to blow up their board or whatever, fuse with it. If you want to, you can add. It just depends on what you know that they have in their hand. And then Cash is an amazing card. Allows you to add back the Poly. You are playing 3 Poly in the deck, but at the same time, you're going through them so much that you might as well just get another one back to your hand. And it can also get you around, same way Penguin does, by just Chain Link 1 Tiger, Chain Link 2 Cat, and then they have to try and negate the cat. So that's it for the Fluffal monsters. Quite a bit of them, but they are all needed. Moving on, we have the Edge Imp cards. We're playing 3 Edge Imp Chain. Edge Imp Chain is the best card of the Edge Imps right now. Sabers get to the Tiger, obviously, but Edge Imp Chain allows you to add the Fright for cards, and guess what we just got? Fright for Patchwork. So definitely need that. A lot of times people only play 2. I've seen people playing 2 of this, play 3. If you're saying you only need 2 because you just want to search for the Patchwork or you want to search this off Patchwork, Patchwork searches this, but this also searches Patchwork. So if you want, you can activate a Toy Vendor, discard this card, draw a card, reveal it. If it's a Fluffal, amazing, special it, whatever. This can add your Fright for Patchwork. Patchwork will add your Sabers or another Chain and then a Poly, and you can go off from there. So play 3, always play 3. It does have a second effect. A lot of times you don't use it. If it attacks, you can actually add another Chain, but just know that you can only activate 1 of those per turn. So if you attack and add a Chain, you can only add the Chain. You can't activate the part where you get to add a Frighfer. So just know that. Don't want any misplays out there. And then you are playing the 1-of Sabers. Sabers you only need 1 of. You're not going to be banishing it off of your Fright for Fusion. A lot of people think that you're going to, but depending on what you're playing, you don't have to worry about that because we are also playing 2 King of the Swamp. Now, King of the Swamp is a card that a lot of people aren't playing anymore because you don't need to add the poly, but it is still good to have that substitute for the fusions if you need to, as well as being able to, like, if you have the Fight for Patchwork in hand, they might have the Ash, you can discard this to add the poly and try and bait out that Ash. And once you bait out the Ash, then you can activate the Patchwork and go from there. And then finally, we have the one Garnet. You don't need more than one. Send this and your wings for your Sphere Knight. Good to go. Hope that you don't draw this, and if you do, put it back with Sabers and then use Brilliant Fusion. And then the last three monsters of the deck, this is my own little, I don't want to say it's a tech choice because it's really, really needed. A lot of people are saying you can side this. I main it because you are always going second and you always want to make sure that you're good to go. So we're playing 3 Kaijus in your Gamma Seal, your Kumongus, and then your Dogron. These are just probably the best ones. Just allows you to get over your opponent's board, especially if they're playing Thunder Dragons now. If they get the big guy on field where you can't add cards to hand, our deck is literally just screwed. So you play these, get it out of there, and then you're also playing the one of Interrupt Kaiju Slumber. So you main those. You can side them out if they're going to make you go first. We do have a few tech choices for going first as well. But I think that they're really needed main right now. Unless you're playing like the Sky Striker engine where you can get things going that way, play these cards. Alright, moving on to spells, we're playing 3 Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor, amazing card. Allows you to get a lot done with the deck. Key plays are going to be putting your Garnet back in the deck, Brilliant Fusioning, dropping it with wings. You can also discard a Toy Vendor for a Toy Vendor because Toy Vendor isn't once per turn, the adding effect. Or the adding effect is once per turn, but the other one is beautiful. So like if you activate Toy Vendor, you can discard a Toy Vendor, and if you have a bear in hand, you can discard for another Toy Vendor and activate it to discard. And no matter what, anytime these are sent to the graveyard, you can use their effect to add. So stupid broken card, and then obviously with wings, super, super broken. Alright, then we have the 3 Brilliant Fusion, obviously needed for this deck. This is kind of the budget-friendly deck, like I said. So you need it in the deck unless you have the Sky Striker engine. Dumps the wings, gets you a Spare Knight for an additional normal. Then we have the 3 Poly, obviously. We have the 3 Fright for Patchwork. Might not need it at 3, but just gets you the chance to open it more often. And then rounding it off for the Frighters, we have the Fright for Fusion and the Fright for Factory. One of each, don't need more than one of each. By then, if you're trying to get to more than one, probably already lost. And then we also have 2 Foolish Burial Goods. Really good to dump your Interrupted Kaiju Slumber if you need to try and get to a Kaiju if you're not drawing into any of them, or you use it for your Toy Vendor. And then rounding it off, we do play the 2 Called by the Grave. Really, really good card. Sad to be at 2 right now, but you do need it for all the hand traps. So that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. Somehow, miraculously got it 40 cards. Whenever I've been building this deck, I always end up finding myself at 41, 42, 43 cards, and you have to try and cut it down. So a few of the cards are on the side, 2 of which I'll talk about. Moving on to the extra deck, we have the 2 Tiger, don't need more than 2. 2 Kraken, self-explanatory, super busted card, can reuse it with Sabertooth, which we are playing 3 of in this deck. The 1 Sheep and the 1 Wolf, and the 1 Spare Knight for the Brilliant Fusion. For going first, we do have the Predaplant Dragos, whatever the fuck this thing's called. Good card, good against dangers, anything that has like high levels. And it's just a good card to go first. If they're making you go first, you can kind of put that on the field. It'd be good to go. Use that with like Spare Knight and a Sabers or something. And then Link board, we got the Mega Fleet. And then we are playing 2 Link monsters in this deck. And then for Deco Talker, and then the Land Pharynxius. And then the 1 tech choice is the Naturia Beast. So that's if you're going first. Now I do have a side with this deck. Only cards I'm really going to touch on are obviously Super Poly. Everything else is kind of like whatever you want to play. Besides Cyber Dragons, you need those for the Mega Fleet. But then I'm also playing 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Glow Up Bulb in the side deck. So if they're going to make you go first, you can side these in. This can send your wings great, but it also can send this. So if they're going to make you go first, you know you're playing against Sky Strikers, send your Glow Up Bulb, normal summon your dog, and then you can go into the Naturia Beast. Pretty easy. Alrighty, so that is the deck for today, guys. This is the Brilliant Fusion deck. Like I said, I'm going to be profiling another deck that's going to be a little bit more expensive. This is a more budget-friendly deck. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because all your support is greatly appreciated. But until the next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out.